starts with a cause, a purpose, a dream. To do more, to be more. In the face of adversity, do we break down, or should we break through? Should we be different, or strive to make a difference? We rock. We have the power to create a better world, one step at a time. This is our revolution. I'm Juan Miguel Javier, an IT director, a farmer, and a rock star by heart. I am unbreakable.
Here's a warm hello from Eastern Communications. We're here to present a refreshing point of view that when it comes to delivering business communication solutions, it's time to bring back the human connection as we do all we can to offer technology that is always solid and reliable. We never lose sight of our brand of personalized customer service. It's a connection that is both high-tech and high-touch. That's our strong connection. Our Eastern Communications.
We are an organization intensive in to take great steps to share values and unite us. We are a company that listens to the call. Establishing a welcoming and respectful workplace that affirms the dignity of each person. Fostering the spirituality and unique contributions of each individual through our Mission at Work programs. Communication at Work promotes an open communication based on respect, mutual trust, and understanding of the mission, values, and plans of Qualcomm. Learn at Work. Support employees through career development classes. Care at Work. Support an environment where the person trusts and support each other in a caring second family manner. But making people's lives better goes beyond employees. It also refers to employees' families and our communications through our Give at Work program. We support charities and establishments that provide assistance to the underprivileged. And Fun at Work, to keep our employees engaged through fun activities. Our mission is our call, and we share it with you so that our Strides values will be an explicit, concrete, and visible commitment to serve and love others. In order to be the best BPO, we make people's lives better.
Ako si Arnold Asis, ang may-ari ng Arnet Agrimarts, at ito ang diskarte ko. One-stop shop kami for all gardening and farming needs. Nagbebenta kami ng pots, fertilizers, seeds, and greenhouse materials. Actually, before Lazada, I have to travel a lot to meet distributor kasi kailangan mo silang puntahan para makabenta ka. So, malimit, malayo ako sa pamilya ko. And kailan talaga doble-doble yung effort mo para makabenta ka lang. Actually, hindi rin naman ako techie so wala rin ako masyadong alam sa online. And yun yung maganda kay Lazada kasi marami siyang tools. Nandyan yung Lazada University para lahat ng kailangan mong malaman, madali mong matututunan. And nandyan din yung community of sellers na very much willing tumulong lalo na sa mga bagong sellers. Hindi lang basta nakabawi yung business namin, mas lumaki pa siya ngayon. At kahit mas malaki siya ngayon, mas magaling yung trabaho namin kasi online na lahat. Huwag kayong matakot matuto at sumubok ng bago kasi andyan naman sa Lazada lahat ng kailangan nyo para mag-succeed ang business nyo. Lahat naman siguro tayo nakakapa sa sitwasyon natin ngayon. Pero sa halip na tingnan natin ito bilang problema, maganda siguro tingnan natin bilang opportunity upang mag-adapt at mag-evolve sa pagpapalaganap ng e-commerce sa Pilipinas. Kasi kung kaya ko, kaya nyo rin. Lazada.
Recording in progress.
It starts with a cause, a purpose, a dream. To do more, to be more. In the face of adversity, do we break down or should we break through? Should we be different or strive to make a difference? We rock. We have the power to create a better world, one step at a time. This is our revolution. I'm Juan Miguel Javier, an IT director, a farmer, and a rock star by heart. I am unbreakable.
Here's a warm hello from Eastern Communications. We're here to present a refreshing point of view that when it comes to delivering business communication solutions, it's time to bring back the human connection. As we do all we can to offer technology that is always solid and reliable, we never lose sight of our brand of personalized customer service. It's a connection that is both high-tech and high-touch. That's our strong connection. We are Eastern Communications.
We are an organization intensive in youth, in desires, and in a commitment to take great steps to live the values that unite us. We are a company that listens to a mission and has decided to respond daily to the call. We are Qualphone, establishing a welcoming and respectful workplace that affirms the dignity of each person, fostering the spirituality and unique contributions of each individual through our Mission at Work programs. Communication at Work promotes an open communication based on respect, mutual trust, and understanding of the mission, values, and plans of Qualphone. Learn at Work. Support employees through career development classes. Care at Work. Support an environment where the person trusts and support each other in a caring second family manner. But making people's lives better goes beyond employees. It also refers to employees' families and our communications through our Give at Work program. We support charities and establishments that provide assistance to the underprivileged. And Fun at Work, to keep our employees engaged through fun activities. Our mission is our call, and we share it with you so that our Strides values will be an explicit, concrete, and visible commitment to serve and love others. In order to be the best BPO, we make people's lives better.
Ako si Arnold Asis, ang may-ari ng Arnet Agrimarts, at ito ang diskarte ko. One-stop shop kami for all gardening and farming needs. Nagbebenta kami ng pots, fertilizers, seeds, and greenhouse materials. Actually, before Lazada, I have to travel a lot to meet distributor kasi kailangan mo silang puntahan para makabenta ka. So, malimit, malayo ako sa pamilya ko. And kailangan talaga doble-doble yung effort mo para makabenta ka lang. Actually, hindi rin naman ako techie eh. So, wala rin ako masyadong alam sa online. And yun yung maganda kay Lazada kasi marami siyang tools. Nandyan yung Lazada University para lahat ng kailangan mong malaman, madali mong matututunan. And nandyan din yung community of sellers na very much willing tumulong lalo na sa mga bagong sellers. Hindi lang basta nakabawi yung business namin, mas lumaki pa siya ngayon. At kahit mas malaki siya ngayon, mas magaling trabaho namin kasi online na lahat. Huwag kayong matakot matuto at sumubok ng bago kasi andyan naman sa Lazada lahat ng kailangan nyo para mag-succeed ang business nyo. Lahat naman siguro tayo nakakapa sa sitwasyon natin ngayon. Pero sa halip na tingnan natin ito bilang problema, maganda siguro tingnan natin bilang opportunity upang mag-adapt at mag-evolve sa pagpapalaganap ng e-commerce sa Pilipinas. Kasi kung kaya ko, kaya nyo rin. Lazada.
Welcome everyone to Cebu Business Month's Tourism Coffee Table Discussion. We're now going to start the event with the invocation by Ms. May Elizabeth Ibanez.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let us now bow our heads as we call upon our majestic and omnipotent God, our Father,
Elizabeth
kindled.
Ibanez.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let us now bow our heads as we call upon our majestic and omnipotent God, our Father,
Elizabeth
kindled.
Ibanez.
Yes. We call upon our majestic and omnipotent God, our Father. Let us now bow our heads as we enkindled by the Holy Spirit in our midst, God, our Father, to bless the 2021 Cebu Business Month, our majestic and omnipotent God, and the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as we enkindled by the Holy Spirit in our midst. In this coffee table discussion for the tourism industry in particular, and remove from our midst any noise, distraction, and technical issues that threaten a successful interaction in particular. Inspire us and guide each participant powerfully. Any noise, distraction, Lord, and to utilize this time in this virtual, free-flowing discussion to scrutinize the current challenges, to explore the opportunities, to inspire innovative ideas, and to create action plans to jumpstart the tourism industry according to your will. Let our appreciative journey this afternoon define our dreams and discover ingenious pathways for our tourism industry stakeholders to your will, and for the enablers to rise forward in this pandemic. We ask all of these in the mighty name of your Son, Jesus, our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
May we call on Cebu Chamber of Commerce President, Mr. Felix Taguiam, to give us the welcome remarks.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Distinguished guests, no? Our DOT Regional Director, Tamano, panelists, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's nice to see you all here again for the first program of our CBM 2021. On behalf of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Cebu Businessman 2021 working team, allow me the pleasure of addressing the leaders and stakeholders present to this 2021 Tourism Coffee Table Discussion. This is the first that we are having a hybrid webinar, and I am glad we can still connect with everyone under this new norm. We have to re-innovate how programs will be made. I want to first commend the businesses and our guests here today who have shown great tenacity amidst adversity. I would also like to acknowledge the unwavering dedication and support of our dear Cebu Provincial Governor, Gwen Garcia, and the Department of Tourism, headed by our DOT7 Director Tamano, toward reviving the region's economy. Tourism is an integral part to Cebu's position as a vibrant and connected hub, which enables not just the exchange of goods and services, but also of ideas, experiences, and talent. In the previous year, we have seen the effect of when traveling and tourism activities are stalled. In a tourism-driven economy like Cebu, economic and social impacts are enormous. From January to June 2020, Cebu's tourism industry suffered 87 billion pesos in foregone revenues. This figure for the second half of the year should be a little bit lower following the reopening of the accommodation facilities and tourism destinations and the resumption of some local and international flights. 2021, I believe, is set to be one of our tourism sector's most significant years to date, because we in Cebu are ready to do differently and progressively. We have positioned ourselves at the forefront of change and will continue to be bold in offering new products and experiences to reinvent global travel. Today, we are giving a valuable opportunity to come together to share ideas, learn more information, and discuss strategies. Our speakers were strategically handpicked to engage us with industry issues, concerns, and recommendations, as well as the response from our government. In closing, I would like to emphasize that real progress will only be made through continuous and coordinated efforts. This must come through grassroots engagement and industries all over the country, not just in Cebu. We have to remain unflinching and logical during these challenging times as the tourism industry strives to remain as one of the major economic drivers, not just in Cebu, but the entire country as well. While there will be challenges, there are also many opportunities we can seize. If we are quick, we will be one of the first, if not the first, to reinvent the industry and capture these opportunities. Lastly, let us always remember that if we work together, we will weather this storm. Thank you and good afternoon, and may we have a very progressive program this afternoon with all the speakers around that we can learn and how to open up safely. Thank you. Stay safe, everybody, and good afternoon.
All right.
Thank you, President Felix, for the warm welcome. We'll now proceed to the event rationale. So, Department of Tourism Regional Director Shalimar Tamano, esteemed panelists, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On March 11, 2020, the World Health Organization declared that the coronavirus outbreak had reached the level of a pandemic, with alarming levels of spread and severity. Consecutively, international and local travel ground to a halt as countries closed their borders, airlines canceled flights, and cities around the world went into lockdown. Heavy losses continue to mount of life, health, and livelihood. The blow to the travel industry and all who depend on it was overwhelming. And as the world slowly recovers from COVID-19 and borders gradually start to reopen, we expect travel to look a little bit different than it did pre-pandemic. Today we are gathered here to open a platform for a free-flowing discussion among the industry key players, both from the government and the private sector, to discuss the country's issues and concerns, opportunities, innovative ideas, and initiatives that will help revitalize the tourism industry. Now, compared to where we were a year ago, we now have clearer knowledge of the virus and its transmission, a wide variety of stronger testing options, and more robust tracing capabilities. This gives us greater confidence to gradually resume travel, while ensuring the health and safety of our travelers remain on top. We now come to a better understanding that we cannot afford a broad risk elimination strategy by shutting ourselves off. We need to actively manage the risks based on objective evidence and sound judgment. Cebu is taking steps towards reviving domestic tourism with the rollout of a marketing campaign, confident that it is ready to welcome back travelers after the Philippines first entered a nationwide lockdown. Our government has taken impressive immediate action to restore and reactivate the tourism sector while protecting jobs and businesses, and many parts of the country are also now developing measures to build a more resilient tourism post-COVID-19. These include preparing plans to support the sustainable recovery of tourism, promoting the digital transformation and move to a greener tourism system, and rethinking tourism for the future. When international travelers eventually return to Cebu, we also want to ensure that they can do so safely. Here in Cebu, we aim to build on our position as a safe and trusted hub to pioneer leading standards in health, safety, and service. We look forward to a future where we can welcome local and global guests to meet and connect while enjoying a seamless and safe end-to-end experience. To minimize job losses and to build recovery in 2021, more needs to be done, and in a more coordinated way to include key policy priorities such as restoring traveler confidence, supporting tourism businesses to adapt and survive, providing clear information to travelers and businesses, and limiting uncertainty, and evolving response measures to maintain capacity in the sector and address gaps in support. Thus, we hope that through this CBM 2021 coffee table discussion with the powerhouses from the tourism industry, we would be able to work together with like-minded individuals to strengthen our approach and strategies. Your collective participation underscores the potential businesses and job opportunities that this sector is expected to create. This is in addition to maximizing development impact by bringing more improvement towards the economic growth of Cebu. We are very honored to have you with us today, our honored speakers and panelists from various parts of the industry, from hotels to tour operators, among others. We thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to a very fruitful discussion. Thank you.
So to introduce our panelists and our guests this afternoon, I'd like to introduce the president of HRAC, Mr. Alfred Reyes. There. We have also the general manager of Southwind Travel and Tours, Ms. Desiree Cookie Chan. Ma'am, welcome. And our dive master, commissioner of the Philippine Commission on Scuba Diving, Mr. Bo Mancao. Welcome, sir. As well as the COO of Cebu Safari and Adventure Park, Mr. Edward Loop. Sir, good afternoon. And I'd like also to acknowledge our, from the government, the Provincial Tourism Officer of the Province of Cebu, Ms. Marty Banyas. Ma'am, welcome. And the Regional Director of DOT7, Sir Shalimar Tamano. Sir. So as we start our discussion this afternoon, we'll start first and introduce, and you can talk, sir, with your anything related to your field. So let's go ahead and start with Mr. Alfred Reyes of ATRA.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you very much for Cebu Chamber for inviting ATRA to talk about this afternoon about tourism. We'll just give a bit of background that until now we know that we're still under quarantine. The Hotel and Restaurant, the Hotel Resort and Restaurant Association of Cebu is basically one of the affected industries, as we know, since we had a pandemic. 2020 was not really a good year for us. As everybody knows that quite a lot of hotels have shut down during the time, and slowly towards the latter part of 2020, some of the hotels are starting to reopen, but not fully open, as we all know. And also that was a time when Cebu was already getting more of a MGCQ, so hotels were starting to accept already some staycations. But it was not to the level of the pre-pandemic. During the period of last quarter of last year, occupancy was not really there. So the confidence is not yet there. There was no vaccine yet. So 2021, we thought that we're looking at 2021 to be much better in terms of outlook. December 28, if I could remember, of 2020, wherein DOT have issued the separation of properties. Either you can only do quarantine or non-quarantine. So there were hotels that have selected the quarantine and the non-quarantine. And thank you, RD Shalimar and the Department of Tourism, after 5 months of our plea that to allow hotels to have what we call the multiple use, which was already approved last May. And that is something that we as hoteliers is into, wherein we know that with the limited business right now in terms of market, you only have the quarantine and non-quarantine. It would really help us survive, but not to the level of the 2019 level. Currently, revenue-wise, majority of the hotels are, I'm talking about Cebu, basically we are down by almost 70% as compared to the pre-pandemic. So there are 3 categories that hotels are running right now. Either you go for regular hotels, quarantine hotels, or the multiple use hotels. The multiple use basically it's just starting as we just got some of the approvals coming from DOT and DOH. So that would really help us. However, with this current situation that we have, we're in, starting May 29, we never had an international flight until June 5. So currently the quarantine hotels are running on a single digit already. So the last checkout of the quarantine guests will be sometime June 9. Hopefully, if we will not be getting any flights, then again, these hotels, either we don't know what's going to happen. We hope that the national government will basically go back and really allow Cebu to have the flights again. And hopefully CAB will also be able to increase the cap from 300 passengers a day to at least to the 1,500 but previously approved. But we hope that we will get a positive response from the visit of the governor to Malacanang. We know that they're currently studying the situation, and ATRAC is very much waiting on what's going to happen, either tonight or tomorrow, what will be the announcement of IATF or the Malacanang in that matter. But again, we are very hopeful that with this multiple use, the hotels will slowly bounce back. And the other thing that we are also looking at is the possible increase of rates of the quarantine hotels. We have already asked our plea to OWA to increase the rates of 1,400 with breakfast, lunch, and dinner to be around 2,000 and 2,005 respectively, depending on the category of hotels. For simple reason that currently, if you are a quarantine hotels, you have to in-house the staff and provide accommodation. This is basically to protect also the families of those staff that are serving our OFWs. And because of that, you have a double expense. You have the, not like in a normal or regular hotel that you don't allow your staff to stay in-house. So this is basically one of the issues that we have wherein our operating cost is really going up in that matter. Aside from that, as we all know, currently that's the only market that we have. We know that in terms of payment, government normally pays beyond 60. But it is something that that the hotel has to survive. If you want to survive, the only way to do it is either you accept quarantine or you go to a regular hotel where you can accept business and leisure market. But the confidence of the leisure market is not yet there. However, if you've noticed, La Union right now is really striving on promoting about La Union, no? And we hope now that the NCR have already opened up, that they can already travel. That is something that Cebu is really looking at. We're looking forward to that, no? Except that we hope that they will reconsider the below 17 and above 65 not to get PCR anymore, because right now that's the new mandate. But of course we are here to follow whatever that is, no? But we hope that that will also be further study if that can be reconsidered. That's all for me.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Reyes, for sharing your issues and concerns that the hotels and resorts face. So we hope as well that from accommodating quarantine visitors, we can now transition to having leisure visitors as well in the future. So thank you, sir.
So to here in the travel and tours as well, we have Ma'am Cookie Chan. So I'd like to ask Ma'am Cookie to share us about your industry or your as well.
Actually, little has been said about the travel and tour industry, but we're also part of the tourism stakeholders. So I just wrote it down so I won't miss anything. Okay, so the COVID-19 pandemic has tremendously impacted the travel and tourism industry to alarming levels we have never seen before. Majority of travel establishments have temporarily closed for over a year now. Some have relocated to a work from home arrangement, if not ceased to operate at all. All of these is due to the slump in market demand, both inbound and outbound, coupled with the uncertainty of when travel will really restart. Fearless forecasts of a 2024 return of international arrivals to pre-COVID levels under a new normal scenario sounds really concerning. Tour operators and travel agents like our company now focus on domestic tourism and serving essential travel needs of passengers who must travel at this time. While local tourism has slowly revived, Cebu residents book services like hotels, transportation, destination activities directly by themselves. As a service company, our core business comes from out-of-town clients who need us to package tour components for their convenience, safety, and security. However earnest these strategies are, they have not resolved our problem of depleting financial resources. Business continuity is still our biggest challenge as far as financial planning is concerned. The travel situation has not improved. In fact, it has worsened these past weeks as we enter mid-2021. Since April, international flights have suffered a cutback due to IATF's cap on the number of passengers allowed to enter daily. Quarantine protocols of 10 days, an abrupt seizure or diversion of flights, unpredictable closing of borders have discouraged travelers all the more. Domestic tourism is not too appealing also at this time, with the non-uniformity of quarantine protocols among provinces and cities, some of these even too complicated to comply. With this rather dismal situation, travel and tourism business is in a financial distress to survive, amidst continuing overhead costs, a big slump in market demand due to unavailability of flights, unpredictable border closures, and inadequate marketing intelligence support. Aware of the limitations of government and the priorities that go along with it, we would appeal for support on matters of relevance. First, for DOT, in consultation with stakeholders, to set clearer directions and strategies with a timeline for a restart, hopefully with relevant forecasts to guide tour and travel stakeholders make informed decisions and action plans such as a study on the mobility of the fully vaccinated market. Second, to craft more economy-driven resolutions on travel protocols such as shortened quarantine period, increase in number of international passengers allowed to enter in various airports of the country, and clarity and stability of entry and exit rules so we can be viewed favorably and be trusted by travelers. And third, fiscal incentives like tax breaks for at least 2020 to 22, the period where the industry was hit the most, and probably some subsidy for medical and health benefits for tourism workers, which cannot be covered already by our existing budget. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Cupino. So it's very important for us to also hear from the private sector. That way, the public sector will also be aware of the issues and concerns. So later on, we'll hear also from the DOT and the Cebu province also. But thank you, ma'am. We know that the travel industry has been really badly hit good by the pandemic. Okay, thank you for sharing concerns. Okay.
All right, great. Now, by the way, if this is a coffee table, if you need coffee, please
Let's order coffee.
feel free. We have also some snacks. From the scuba diving, I believe that with the collaboration with DOT7, there was the Dive 7 was really jealous. Oh, they're already diving, and especially with our dive master here, Bo. Bo, can you tell us more about what's in store also, or any also about the concerns and probably recommendations that you have from your side about the tourism industry?
Well, let me start off by saying that dive tourism, dive travel industry is a very niche market. And that being said, it's also a very popular market in terms of the foreigners coming in. Pre-pandemic, the Philippines was already named one of the top dive travel destinations in the world by so many different sources. I was chatting with the regional manager of PADI for Asia Pacific a few days ago, and he told me that the Philippines was one of the top countries that divers go to get certified and for leisure, which is super interesting because we have we normally had a tourist visit of 7 million visitors as compared to Thailand, which is up to 40 million. And we're still up there against them. So yes, we have a big market. We had a big market share of divers coming in, especially to Cebu, because it's the hub of Central Visayas and the other parts of the Philippines. Now, we're also very connected with the travel industry because these people come in through all sorts of ways, mainly flights. And when all of that stopped, the industry players here on the ground in Cebu, it also just shut down. Just very recently, through the help of DOT and the province, we were able to jumpstart that very early. And it's starting to go now. More local divers and domestic divers are coming in to go diving. And it looks better than it did last year, that's for sure. There's also the hopes of getting more people into the sport of scuba diving. Not just because we have a very good destination, but because personally I feel that if more people go diving, they see the beauty underwater, they also know that the ocean has some issues that need to be addressed. So that being said, I'd like to thank so much Ms. Marty and RD Tamano, for helping us, helping this little niche of industry come out of a slump. I'm not saying we're out of it totally, but we're moving forward. And my hopes is that we will have a little, in the near future, a little travel corridor that we can start bringing in people from other countries and doing their scuba diving activities. It's fairly safe because they're all outdoors. So and the commission has put out safety protocols early on also not only for the guests but also for the staff of the dive industries. And it's we're confident that once the people come in, we can manage this, effectively. So once again, thank you guys for having me. And then I hope to see everybody underwater.
See you soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you both. So diving, it's a real it's a niche industry, but it's a huge income generator for Cebu.
Very.
Because-
It doesn't
yeah.
only generate income; it builds communities.
Correct,
Case
exactly.
in
I
point,
see.
Exactly.
Walwal and Malapascua.
Yeah.
These communities were built on the
On
dive
diving.
tourism.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with what you said. That once you start diving, when you see the beauty underwater, you protect what you love. So you're able to also take care of what's underwater too. So thank you for sharing. And thank you, Miss Marty and RD Camano, for also spearheading diving in Cebu as well.
Okay, great. So thank you so much. So again, you care what you love, right? So hopefully I'll approach you, Sir Bo, and get the certification as well.
May papalessons na.
Yes. Okay, so our next panelist here is this is really close to my heart because one of the few things, or when it was last year, when we were already on MGCQ, the very first thing that my kids asked me, Daddy, can we go to and see the lions, see the giraffes there in Carmen? I said, okay, let's go. So that time they were so happy after months and months of my kids were, stuck in the house. So we went there and we experienced again. We were amazed how the animals and the nature that we really need them. So what you have here, the COO of Cebu Safari and Adventure Park, Mr. Edward Loop. Sir, can you share us about your the safari and also about your concerns and probably recommendations in the tourism industry?
Sure. Thank you. So, as we all know, tourism has and always will play an important role in boosting a nation's economy. Unfortunately, this industry has been massively affected by the spread of coronavirus. Many countries have imposed global quarantines, entry bans, and other restrictions resulting in negative economic impact. The Cebu Safari and Adventure Park, since its opening in 2019, is committed to provide a world-class center for guests to experience fun, education, and science while maintaining the focus on protecting biodiversity, promoting understanding, appreciation, and passion for nature. To be a sanctuary for flora and fauna, and a retreat for guests to commune and harmonize with the environment, and be at one with the universe. Unfortunately, as in most tourist destinations, the pandemic has been a difficult time for the safari. As a result of temporary closure and limitation inbound flights that have resulted in fewer tourist arrivals, we have less guests to educate, inspire, and engage with these amazing animals that we have in the park. Difficult choices and decisions were made to assure the survival of over 1,000 animals and deployment of over 400 employees. In response to the pandemic, Cebu Safari has activated its crisis response team and created stronger processes to its safety protocols. Guidelines set by the World Health Organization, USCDC, the Department of Health, the Department of Tourism, and the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions are strictly implemented and followed. Safety measures are in place, such as protective barriers have been installed at all client-facing counters. So this is one of the requirements that we've had to do to protect the guests. Mandatory temporary scans and submission of health checklists are also placed as soon as you enter the premises. Temporary suspension of the animal feeding activities due to the interaction that the guests have, so we have to also suspend this temporarily. Enhanced F&B sanitation. We've had to take extra measures for the guests that are dining within the park. No? And of course, strict room occupancy policy and linen decontamination. This is one of the concerns as well that we've had. No? And we have designated a safety officer that monitors compliance to our health safety protocols and control measures. At the end of the day, the painful reality is, let us not forget, we are a business. And without earned revenue, our mission will definitely suffer. Right? We need to go through a process of recovery, and it will take time, hard work, and perseverance. Cebu Safari is more than just an attraction for people to come and look at animals. We're trying to help species survive. Undeniably, Cebu is affected by these challenges. But Cebuanos are resilient. We are persevering and continue more than ever to find ways to survive these trying times infused with difficulty and discouragement. It is our hope the government and local authorities, in particular the Department of Tourism, play a central role in tourism development, to provide planning tools in order to optimize the benefit of the countries, specifically Cebu, with an increasingly competitive global tourism environment. In closing, let us continue to work together to find ways to survive despite trying times infused with a difficult and discouragement. We can do this, Cebu. We continue to move forward. We will recover. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luke. So I agree with Mike. Like Bodhi, my son, like he loves the Cebu Safari. Diba? So when we go to the safari, it's not just about enjoying nature, but also educating the kids, educating families about animals. It's the same as diving. Diba? So nature in itself is also our teacher. So thank you for sharing also your safety protocols and control measures so that our viewers or also business owners can also take a cue from that. So thank you, Edward.
We were guided actually by province and of course with DOT to comply, and we went through all the process, and it's good because it makes the guests as well feel comfortable when they get into the park and they see that all these standards and protocols have been followed. So that's why we implement these things.
Yeah, we're also very lucky because Cebu, even with the start of the pandemic, Cebu has been a banner province, you know, as like the showcase, for safety protocols, even the safe reopening of the economy. So we're very grateful and we're very lucky to have you guys. All right, so we'll now hear from the government response. So maybe now call on Regional Director Shalimar Tamano for your presentation, sir. Busy kayo.
The microphone. Yeah.
Good afternoon. This is
Yes, it is.
So thank you for inviting us, Bridge, and CBM. Let me start by saying that Cebu, we were really glad to hit that we are doing well compared to other places in the country. And I think the Cebuanos themselves and the players acknowledge this. Unless someone says that, there's another province doing better or another island doing better. I don't think anyone here, can say that. So why? Because we were really the leader even before. We were the leader. We got the region. I'll talk about Cebu and the region oftentimes now because that's my job. So in 2019 we got at least 4.3 million foreign tourists. I say at least because that does not include those who stayed at Airbnb. You see, they're not counted. So if you count that, you can easily say another 500,000. And then the ESL students from Korea, Taiwan, Japan, China, another probably 50,000. So let's just say 4.3, you can have another 500,000. That's almost 5M. Now, on the other hand, that's also the number of rooms that we have to fill up right now because they're gone, and we have 4.5 million, equivalent of rooms, to fill up, and equivalent of transport, food, waiters, these employees. Having said that, in this time, what is very important really in tourism, we think, is controlling the COVID cases. They go up and down. Before we were the pariah, if you remember 10 months ago, we were closed down, 5 or 6 cabinet secretaries went here to help us, and we survived it. Finally, we're doing very well. Compared to other areas again in the country, MGCQ for the past 10 months. In fact, we are trying to convince some of our IATF officials to take a look at what Cebu is doing in controlling the cases. Maybe they can, adopt one or two, from what we've been doing, and maybe apply it nationwide. I can discuss here for 1 or 2 hours, but I'll just continue what Alfred said and si Ma'am. No? In regards the returning Filipinos, because Cebu is central to this, there are only 3 areas. No, that's Metro Manila, Clark, and Cebu. We are the one handling the returning Filipinos, OFWs and non-OFWs. We have, to this day, we have assisted 81,000 OFWs and non-OFWs. This is based on our data. And they have all stayed in our accommodation establishments. They have enjoyed the services of our transportation, our drivers, our waiters, everyone. And so this is a big chunk of our operations that helps the industry, although not fully, but they keep us afloat. And so we supported the clamor for multiple use, with strict guidelines. And after a few months, it was finally approved, I think 2-3 weeks ago, Sir Alfred, no? And then now again, we are asking to increase the rate of payments to our hotels from 1,400 per day for OFWs to around 2,000 or more. And we have done so in writing and verbally as well. We have communicated this to our head office. And yesterday, we also communicated our concern about the PCR for 18 below and 65. Why? Because the LGUs here in the province and in Lapu-Lapu City does not require it. So we don't see the reason why, they have to be swabbed, the kids, if they want to go here or if they want to go to Cebu. So this is, and maybe if the private sector can have a a position on this also, would be glad to do a black and white like what we did before. We have a lot going on, and we work closely with everyone who's here today. Marty, representing the governor, Alfred, Bo, everyone here. We have started opening. Since we're focused on Cebu today, we have started opening the province August, Mark?
July 31.
July 31. So we roamed around the province. And it's not a small province. It is the biggest province in the country, in terms of population and districts. So, gikan Santander, padung sa kuan, Bantayan, Malapascua, Camotes, we braved even typhoons, strong winds and all. When we went to Nalusuan, I remember, nabalik ang kuan, katik sa Pampot, really? Kami, live man, so grabe good, no? We went to Camotes, di kadunggo ang among kuan, alas 6 na sa gabi. If we can only, we can write a book about this, actually.
All the challenges.
And so, now the program of the region, we are lucky we got huge money this year compared to the past few years. So we got it from TPB, we got it from the GAA, and we are implementing this. Combo, we are partnering with COM and PCLSD. We have these dive festivals all over the region. So we have huge money for that. We're happy that the governor loved it. Our last partnership with the governor, Ms. Marty in Malapascua, the governor herself opened it, and she insisted on 1 or 2 more this year. Nice. So she identified Aluginsan, and probably if we can do 1 more in the province of Cebu. And then we're doing our outdoors campaign. So we focus on, again, biking, trekking, climbing, what is this? Motorcycle. We're doing the branding now, for probably we'll name it Moto 7, like Live 7.
Nice.
And then this is outdoors. And then just this morning we had a meeting in this building for our marketing. We got money also. And we're opening our new Facebook account and new Instagram account solely for marketing. So we have already contents to share immediately. This was awarded just a few weeks ago. So this is very new. And we will not launch it. Open lang naman diretso siguro. Para wala na drama. It will be domestic, and we will make sure it's world class. We have been documenting in Cebu, in Bohol, in Negros, and Siquijor. We have another program. We don't know what it's called yet, but it will be um, the history of tourism in Cebu and Central Visayas. How it started, 70s, 80s, Conasier, the founder of Sinulog. We started interviewing already, the supplier already was awarded this project, I think, 3 weeks ago, and we started roaming around already the region, crossing to Bohol and to Negros, to find out how tourism started in Mactan, how it started in Tambule, how it started in this building. Cebu Plaza, who started this?
Cebu Plaza.
Who started Argao Beach Club? Who started Sinulog? Who were the first guys in diving? The dad of Commissioner Bo. No, what was Apo Island before? Some say it was a wasteland, no, because of dynamite and all. And look at Apo Island now. It's one of the best world-class examples of how to protect our environment. So we work closely with DNR. We work closely with the province, the city mayors, the municipal mayors, with the PNP, with the DOH. We work closely with the DOQ, with the PNP, DNR, and what's this? Is my time up?
No, please go ahead. We're learning a lot.
Philippine Coast Guard. Why? Because kaning Marina and Coast Guard lagi to protect our seas, no? To protect what's underneath. DNR, our seas, and of course our mountains. In fact, tomorrow, on Saturday, we have a clean up again with DNR. It's, I think, World Green Day or something.
World Green Day.
Oh, so green po na itong mga shirts, So, and then, tapong yun, ang Coast Guard. Di ba ako, no? It was in Walboal, it was in Kuan, then help us again in, and then we cross to Panglao next week for the fiesta. Ang sa Dawi na to na-postpone because of the cases there. So, you see, we go back really to the cases. That's why when the DOT makes crafts, guidelines and all, that is perfect at the moment. It doesn't mean that tomorrow it will not be changed. And we cannot fault DOT for that because, cases are, malason na yung mga lugar. I just got information a while ago that DOH7 is considering, tweaking our kuan in some areas in the region at Cebu, because of rising cases. What can we do? So if we have events there, we will have to. The Darwin event was one of the biggest, and we planned this for 6 months already with the mayor himself. Ang mayor, good news, nag-dive na karon. Si Mayor Galik, masama na karon. It was supposed to be last month. But hindi kami, because we take advice from the local chief executives. They're the one who know what's going on. In Dumaguete, the vice mayor, things are going on really. It's really very bad. We're trying to do our best. So muna mubalik ra gyud gihapon nga DOT, we try our best nga. We will not be spreaders. Makatabang ta sa control sa atong cases, and so far the island of Cebu is doing well, and we hope to sustain that. Unta nga na lang, no? And the whole year, but it's not the way it is. We have to work hard, all of us, private and public. If not, it would not be, impossible to say that, it will go up, it will go down, roller coaster ba. So, magtinambang kayo gita, ana. Mora to. Thank you.
Thank you, RD. Grabe kayo ni Sir RD, kaya even for 2020, active kayo ni siya, for helping returning overseas workers, even kanang paulit mga foreigners po, to their own countries. Yeah. So, sakto po ka, RD, na it's not, when you make the plan, right now it's perfect. But tomorrow, what if cases go up? Then you have to adjust again. So you have to be very responsive to the number of cases also. Yeah, definitely. But we're very happy about the outdoors campaign. But I think Reef to Ridge. Okay, everybody. I'm sorry, Reef to Rainforest. Reef to Rainforest.
Ako isa katong kiginin nga Farm, Fork, and Fitness.
Oh, nice.
Triple F.
Yeah. That's
good. Okay, outdoorsman.
Yeah.
Para nimo.
Which is like everybody is turning into the outdoors. Diving, trekking, outdoor activities, rock climbing. So it's very timely side. So thank you, RD Pumano, for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. Next we'll hear from Ms. Marty Ibanez of the Cebu Provincial Tourism Officer from the province of Cebu.
Yes, good afternoon everyone. I'll take my mask off lang ha. Yeah, so for us in the province, I'm proud to say that we have a very strong governor who really listens to even to the boatmen. For everyone's knowledge, she never do or make any decision without consulting everyone first. RD here knows. We even have meetings even prior the lockdown, as early as March 10, 2020, if you remember. We already planned Suri-Suroy alang sa Cebu. At that time, it was not yet a lockdown here in the province. We were just like trying to have a project wherein we help each other domestically, because the governor was like thinking in a few months from now this might roll out of proportion, and but then unfortunately before we kick off there was a lockdown already. So prior than the lockdown, we already had series of meetings from businessmen to our stakeholders, to the point that one time we went home around 1 a.m. Oh yeah, 1 a.m. So that's normal for her. She has all these meetings.
Normal.
Yeah, that's normal for her. She has all these meetings to listen, to really see what's there, because you cannot decide. This is according to her. You cannot just decide and make decisions or make rulings to those people. You don't even know what they're going through. So kami, we went to the highest mountain already. I climbed up the highest peak, which is Mount Manungal, and the second one. And of course, the team went diving, caving. So because our governor really is a hands-on governor, so when she asked for reports, it has to be accurate and you have to be there to really see it. So we went out, and then after that, we consulted with the mayors. Of course, she created the Cebu Tourism Task Force, Cebu Provincial Tourism Task Force, with in partnership with DTI and DOT, of course. And as mentioned by RD Tamano, Police, Marina, and all those line agencies that need to be tapped. So from there, we came up with the EO, where it's very specific, like for the diving, you have points there to follow. Like for the theme park, which the governor was like telling, you cannot ban the kids for they really have also to go out. Same with our older people, because for health also. So there also Cebu now is campaigning for a wellness tourism. That's why we're inclined to the outdoors and nature. Yes, because we really have to again take care of the nature, which is giving us the tourism aspect. So there, most of the EOs are now implemented, which is also adapted into an ordinance already. Happy to say, 80% now is really trying to follow. Trying in a sense, because some are really trying to get money first, because we need to buy some things like for the personal air purifier and all, but the governor and the task force also really consider that. That's why the governor herself subsidized all the LGUs to have their personal air purifier, the UV lamp that was really given for them. So also I'm happy for the line agencies, the national line agencies that are helping us out.
All right, great. So it's really nice to hear, the programs in the province, especially with our very hardworking governor, Governor Gwen. So this is how I see it, no? Now, Cebu has been like a source of best practices. And I think personally, kaning wala gyud makakontas ana, I would say, kay even even that when the rest of the country is closed, is on lockdown, through Governor Gwen, she started, let's open it up, kay there's a lot at stake, especially mga livelihood. Oo. And then the rest of the other provinces started to follow. So karon, I think that's really I think na kuan po na siya sa leadership siguro with our governor. So thank you so much, Ma'am Marty, for sharing us those information of the programs of the province. So I think we'll start siguro na addressing some concerns, especially questions coming from our participants. But before that, again, please feel free. We have water if you like coffee. Coffee table naman eh. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So, Mike, do we do like the Q&A from each other, or do we address questions from the viewers? What do you think?
I think we can yeah, we can, especially with Ma'am Cookie, she has several appeal, right, or questions or no, that you concerns as well. So maybe we can start from that, and then let's make it a casual discussion, and then we'll entertain questions as well from our participants, especially in Zoom and in Facebook. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Actually, yeah, I commend the government has been really very proactive. We've been meeting a lot with them as well, no? Like,
I see.
we had also some programs, although they're on hold, okay? So
ongoing the Suri-Suri group tour package,
Yeah.
wherein
yes, yes.
we really embrace accommodation, airlines, transportation, travel agencies, even our tour guides, and the
Yes.
tourist transport.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we appreciate that as well. The government is actually open to discussion. What we are just asking for, we just because I think us, the tour operators and the travel agents, we're like the closest link to the clients, most likely, because we are the service providers. So sometimes they hear about it, they read about, oh, that's a nice program. We have programs out there, and they're promoting outdoors and everything. But from the traveler point of view or from the guest, they would always say, okay, how to go about it? What's next, right? So the first people that they usually go to would be us, most often than not. So that's why when they come to us, and sometimes we also don't know what to do first. So that's the missing link, I think, and that's why part of my speech earlier was to ask for support, more open communication perhaps. And we always start with maybe the basics, like the protocols, what really is the latest, or where do we get information. So actually earlier, before I came here, I just got news that, I don't know if you've heard about the travel pass. Have you heard about, they call it the IATA travel pass, okay? So it's like a
Yeah.
digital mobile app. The whole world is using it. Most countries are already employing this one. It's like a digital app that will contain actually your COVID-19 regulations. Okay, so what you need, like for example, your vaccination. It's like they said vaccine passport, things like that. And it will just not contain that, but even the protocols of the cities or the places you're going to. So that sounds really pretty, yeah, it's very important. It's going to really help us. It's going to help the travelers. So that's our point. We really want to materialize. That's the aim of every enterprise, I guess. Like, we get in the people, we get to, we mobilize and then get them to the destination so that to do the activities, like they go to safari, they go to diving, all these things. So it really starts there. So that's why I think that's how we should start moving if there's really a plan. So that's actually our call to the government to plan how we're going to go about it. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, since 2019, we already have an app. I know Sir Mike is aware of this. We have a virtual map or app already. If everybody, Sir Edu is familiar with this, we had a portal that's only part of the whole app. The app that we have, that recent development app that we have, aside from the virtual tour, when you have a 360 degrees vision, you can see the photo of the area where to go, is also upgraded now because of the pandemic. Because when we started, it was just a simple virtual app to go, where they can book accommodations that are accredited already and have a COC, the Certificate of Compliance, diving operators and all, even transportation. But this time, we upgraded it into COVID friendly. So we have a QR code for all those who are a COC. We already have a COC certification establishment, including our sites. What they do, they just do the QR code. It is a one-time input for your details. That's a personal input for you. So what you have to do is the temperature upon arrival. You just input your temp, and as soon as it's success, that's the time you're allowed to go in. We're also developing it now together in partnership with DOH and our provincial police force, the real-time action. For example, I need a police assistance now because I feel threatened. You just ping the app, real time. It will ping the police station nearby, so that they can assist you. Since 2019, we're already having that, and it's nice to know that this one is world class. So maybe we can link it up with them. But here in Cebu, yes, we're already doing it, ma'am. The problem with our portal, because we're still clarifying some things since now we're a little bit leaner.
So this is just for Cebu.
Yeah, Cebu
right?
province only.
Uh,
So you can even load your, if you're familiar also, the province has digital bus, right? Even the card, you can just use the app. You can load it and you don't need the card anymore. You just have to have it. So you can just like ride the bus with the fare, digitally paying. So yeah, maybe we can discuss more so that maybe you have inputs on
And
your
I was
end
hoping it would
for
be
booking.
more
Yeah.
inclusive also of other
Yes.
provinces perhaps, so it's easier. And as well as update on the travel bubble. Are we doing one so far? Are we
Yeah,
going to come up
yeah,
with
yeah,
that?
actually, yes.
Yeah,
Oo.
things like that. I mean, and also more more marketing input, like research. For example, the types of market that most likely will come here. Yeah, not just for domestic, but even international, probably which market should we focus on in the future, because it's also good that we discuss it early on
Early on,
rather
yeah.
than do it when we're already open. So most countries do that too. That's why I know everything is a test, trial and error, but it's always good to prepare. Yeah. So
I'm not supposed to tell this, but yeah, we're doing it already. We're
okay.
trying to have it even before, PAL open up for the US. We're already doing that, and also for Asian. So yeah, we're we're already doing that the study, and we're talking already with other countries also, who are those who market the target market that we could have and
Yes, I
invite
think
here.
more inputs on that as well will
Yes.
help us a lot. Thank you, Mark.
I'm not supposed to tell it, but yeah, to answer that. Yeah, it's a secret. Don't worry.
Yeah.
FB face is live now. Yes, Red.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
I just have a question regarding the portal that you've set up. So it gives quite a lot of information about the different tourist attractions. But does it give the specific details per municipality or city of what the tourist attractions are there, or the guidelines and protocols of each municipality to give the public a heads up before they do visit those areas of what requirements are needed for them to enter to that area?
Yes, actually we have only one ruling for the whole province. That's one thing that we're lucky about. We only have one governor, and happy also to say that all the mayors are really following all the protocols set. For the portal, when you go to the LG or the municipality where the destination is, you can see also destination nearby or activities or even accommodations nearby. It's also stated there the easiest transport you could get, but because not all the tourists have their cars or they can rent a van, so our backpackers also, especially our students, are just there to explore. So you can see it there also. And then the same as based on the EO, every time, like if sample you go to Malboal, you want to go diving, it is there already. Before you can book, these are the requirements. Heads up, the mouthpiece of the diving are not for rent. So you have to bring your own. Like when you go to canyoneering, you have to have this attire and shoes because it's not for rent there. You have to bring it. It's there already. So it's really a black and white for you to be guided.
Ms. Marky, what's the portal name that we are
discovercebu.gov.ph.
discovercebu.com.ph?
Yeah, .gov.ph. Yes.
Okay, great. So if anybody wants to travel around Cebu,
They can just browse it.
yeah, go to discover.
discover.cebu.gov.ph.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think we're one of the few provinces that start to transition into the digital arena.
Happy to say that Clark is interested in coming in for them to study us, yes, because they're also reaching out for what we're doing right now. So I need the go signal of RD and of course the governor. I know they'll be happy for this. Ano ba?
So you're spearheading lots of things. We're actually being the banner province for lots of protocols.
Lately, we had a series of, since January, had a series of trade fair. We have one in Galleria, that's RCBU, and we're already doing two for SM. The other one is SMC side, and ongoing now is SM North Wing. There is so many good response. Sales is good, thank God. And we're helping also our community-based and people who operated businesses, like of course our delicacies, crafts. And we're telling people now there's more to see and explore in Cebu province.
Thank you. Anything else? Any other concerns from the rest of the panelists?
Just to share a bit for HRAP. Currently, we all know that the only way for us to really move forward is through the vaccination. And we're trying to support this program of the government by allowing all our citizens that if you're a member of ATRAC, there are already about 26 to 75 members of hotel and resorts. We are just on the process of acquiring a DTI permit for this. You will get 20% discount.
Oh, wow.
Whenever you have your vaccination card. So this is basically to support Cebu and the Philippines. That we hope that everybody would be interested to get vaccinated, so we can really open our economy. So that's one of the things that we will be launching. And of course, this is one thing that we have not really submitted to RD Tamano yet. We will be asking them also for an endorsement for the DTI permit. RD.
There's so many secrets revealed here.
Because with 26 hotels applying for different DTI permit, it would be better if DOT can also assist us. So because anyway, this is the 20%, that's what I've said, is basically to help those people to be vaccinated. That's one. And the other thing is currently we have a project right now. We're deliberating this already together with our legal. We're asking a tax relief program. As we all know that 2020 was not really a good year for the hotels. And in fact, there are some hotels have already applied bankruptcy. Some have already applied, they want to be closed. Now, the discussion of on a tax issue here is that you will be taxed based on whatever is your performance in 2019, 2020. There are some who was not able to pay already. And one of the programs that we will be asking the government, this will be start with Cebu City, then to Mandaue, to Lapu-Lapu. It's basically it's a tax reform program wherein it allows you not to pay. No, we're not saying we're asking for free, but either to waive the penalties so that they can reopen again the businesses, or if not, instead of closing, just requesting the city just to park their businesses at the moment. So you will not have penalties, because when you reopen your business, then you will be paying more taxes. This is one way of helping the stakeholders and the organization of that particular property on how we can really make sure that the businesses are still alive. This is what we would like to help also for those ailing properties that we have as part of the members of ASHA. Actually, they have that in 2019. They call it the tax amnesty ordinance, but that was only until 2019. So I think they have to redo it for now that focusing on the pandemic. So that's one thing that we will be presenting also to the city.
Okay, that's a very good initiative for business owners. So two initiatives. One, the incentive program for vaccinated citizens, so they get discounts at hotels and resorts. And number two, getting tax, like a tax break for businesses struggling. So who do you talk to, Sir Alfred?
We will be presenting that of course, to the city mayor.
Okay.
Once the city mayor gets a nod to it, then we will be presenting that to the tax section of the city.
Okay. Well, thank you for that initiative.
They can only do that if there will be an ordinance. So that will be a long, lengthy discussion.
Okay.
And I'm sure this is not only for HRAP. I'm sure Cebu Chamber would like to do that also for some small businesses.
Yes, definitely. Because it's not just the hotel and resort industry that's been hit, but daghan mga micro industries also that need help. So thank you for sharing. Mike, I think we have time for a few questions from the audience.
Yes.
Would you like to or si Miss Martin, RD Tamano,
Okay, so we have a few questions here coming from our participants. So I think this is more for DOT. It says here, is there any alternative for a 500,000 pesos proof of capital for newbie travel agency owners? Is this something that...
Yeah,
please go ahead.
Yes, well, this is the policy of the DOT ever since, because you have to have a working capital if you're working in that business, di ba? Pa-reserve, kuandaan, you have to have something, no? That the government has to. These policies were created for the safety of the public. These were not,
Right.
created in whim, no? But we can, if there's a proposal, then you can write us, and we can send it to the head office to for them to take into consideration.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think that's really very important as well. Although we encourage people to go into business entrepreneurship, but for the public safety as well, to avoid mga probably fly by night na kung ano. So we have to put a certain barrier of entry as well for the safety of the public. Yeah.
Government policies are not really over time, disinvolved, there's wisdom behind it. Unless, of course, you can suggest something better. If you have, you can do it in writing, and we will definitely support it if you think it is wise.
Yeah, definitely the government is very open to suggestions and ideas. I think we have another question.
Yeah, we have another question from Kerbasi Ugarte of ARC Hospital. Well, what indicators are the government using to help dictate policies for letting international tourists back in the Philippines? For example, a country such as Israel, where there are hardly any cases, when would it be acceptable to accept them to come back to the Philippines? Mga taga-Israel kung wala kay kaso, when can we open up our international borders?
The DOT has been discussing with IATF regarding our foreign travelers, and what we're interested here in Cebu is that if there is a travel bubble, a travel corridor between, let's say, Cebu and Seoul, Cebu and Tokyo, if they have good cases, then we will be one of the first. We assure you that. Di ta mabilin ana. One or two tama una ta ana. Otherwise, it is really the decision really of our national officials, DFA, and of course our DOH. Okay, maski ang local travel man gani, it's really difficult, to travel from one place to the other, from some areas in Mindanao and now in Visayas, and even Manila. I will go back to Metro Manila. We had the private sector. Launched? I Love Cebu. I Heart Cebu. I Heart New York. No. So 50%, 70% off. Grabe ang preparasyon ani. We have a Viber group. Nasa Alfred. Margie Munsayak. Tapos grabe ang preparasyon. Isa kabuan. So pag-launch, naniraman ng Metro Manila. You see? So you have the passion, you have the hardworking private sector, but what happened? Napadayon gihapon, but of course, the target market was really Metro Manila and the surrounding provinces. Another, Suroy-Suroy Sugbo package. One of the best packages. Back and forth good Aeroplano 2000. Asa kakitaan na. Nisugot ang Philippine Airlines Kigob. Nisugot ang Cebu Pacific. Nausik ra gyud tanan. Kay maniraman sila dito. So karon nangabre sila. Mabuta ka ba nga mga bre sila kay di man mo warning ang mga bre mi ugma ha. I-announce man na on the eve of the opening. So I guess you will have to sit down na gyud the governor kung sa mabuhion na nato na kanang atong kay you have to fly Monday. And then you have to fly back to Manila Thursday. Ngano, we are trying to fill up the gap. Kay ang weekends kusog man, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kusog man. Labaw na sa mga resorts. Buwal-buwal ba na, lapu-lapu ba na, o kuan, bantayan, kusog nag Friday to Sunday. Ang patay ang Monday to Thursday. So ang gihimo sa province, sod ka Monday, pauli ka Thursday. Nisugot ang Philippine Airlines Cebu Pacific, 2,000 back and forth. So 1,000 for one way.
Nice.
Unya, na-discounts ang mga kuan. Apil na imong pamahaw, napakasundo nga kuan. Grabe ni siya nga kuan. You have the passion, but kana lagi ang cases ba? It's a roller coaster, so dili ikaw ang magbuot. Dili gid ikaw ang magbuot. So we redirected our marketing to Clark. We had meetings with Clark, Region 3, and all the players in Clark. Muna ni kay ang atong usa nga nagtrabaho diri sa MCIA na naman sa Clark karon. What's her name? Si Kuan. Forgot niya. Naman sa Lipad karon, the private operator of si Jael, private operator of counterpart sa GMR ba sa Kuan. Lipad. So meeting na unya kanang ganahan lagi mo tabok ang players sa Clark dire. They will visit Cebu and they will visit Bohol. Diba? Para na sila ibaligya. Unya, amo po silang giingnan nga discount pud mo diha aron mga Cebuano mutabok di man mahimo nga
One
kamura
way.
sa Ilocos, Central Luzon, mo angan hideri unya way sulod ang eroplano pagbalik.
Yeah.
Walay mulupad ana nga eroplano. Ni awa pa man sila ikuan didto, discounts. Apan sila so because we're thinking also nga among Cebuano ganahan na pud diya siguro ko no want to kanang mag dune base unsa ba na 4x4
Dugay
ganahan
na.
mag surfing sa La
Ganahan na
Union.
mag-travel.
Ano ba oh. Yeah, kanang lagi. So now we're back to kuan open na ang Metro Manila pero nalagi ang mga bata ug ang mga tiguang so kaamot sa una we'll have to discuss that and try to convince our friends in Manila nga kuan man siguro na like what can we do but I already aired our kuan concerns yesterday morning and yesterday afternoon in two Zoom meetings no. So we hope also we can formalize it para atong mapakita sa kuan atong answer ba atong template ba no nakasuwat ta sa IATF nga i-reconsider na siya kay wa man na pangayua because we are the only province and city Lapu-Lapu City who do not require PCR. I think we are the only ones in the country. I'm not so sure I'm not so sure murag kita ra ang walay PCR. I mean it's really a tourism haven. If you are in the industry, you cannot see this in any part of the country. I think, no? Unless na ay nagtangtang og PCR lately, at least city or province. I don't think so. I don't think so. So mao kana.
It's good to hear, no, RD, with the mga initiatives or programs. You mentioned earlier about outdoor, the focus in outdoor. Let me ask on si Bo. Di ba, you together with the OT, you launched the Dive 7, right? What happened to that? Did that help, like jumpstart diving, or kanina encourage people to go diving? What do you think so far?
Results. Yeah. I say so. It did help. After our Moal event. I got some reports that people that came to try scuba, the Discover Scuba program, they ended up getting the other members of their family to go diving. So I had some of these reports. Now it's not just only about that. This also resonates to what you see on social media. So like I mentioned a while ago, Philippines was one of the top dive destinations in the world pre-COVID. There are other places right now that are opening up already to scuba divers. And since our borders are not open up yet, I don't want our little niche market to forget about the Philippines. So once they see on social media that look what's happening, Cebu is doing this, Malboal has got that, Malapascua did that. It's still basically brand recognition. So this will just resonate on them that once the Philippines opens, we want to come back. And the biggest diving community in the Philippines industry is in Cebu. So
I see. With this, is the local customers or tourists would be enough to sustain?
I don't think so. Sad to say. It's sad because number one, we already are a top dive destination, and I'd say 80% of the people don't know about it.
I see.
Sure, we'd like more divers to come in, not just because of the industry in trouble, but also because of the environment. But no, I don't think there's a stigmata that R.D. Tamano and I talked about, and we're trying to break that stigmata. We haven't found the right way to do it yet, but there's a stigmata that diving is exclusive, that you have to be this particular person. But it's not true. Kids have gone diving. It's just like buying a bicycle and going up to the mountains. It's very similar. It's very easy. It's also very safe now. So we're trying to break that stigmata. When we do, we'll let you know.
I think that breaking of stigma, I think it's all about probably marketing, right? So I think with the Dive 7 program and the efforts of the OT, I think I'm slowly, for me, like it's a little, I do free diving, but scuba, I feel like medyo kuan man kaning delikado siguro or what, kung ano? Or lisod, or probably lisod or expensive, right? But I think, yeah, so I think it's about messaging siguro, no? Na, I think with the Dive 7, and you mentioned about having sigog, ganahan sa another area, this can slowly open up na kuan. Kaya I've seen my friends who are scared of swimming. Oh, nag-scuba naman lagi ni siya. Yeah, but with the local kuan, Sir Bo, is there like a tipping point where you can say that the local customers already is enough to sustain? Or like what unsa pa yung mga kuan, would
Well,
it be like number of
you have
additional
to-
tourists?
You have to remember that before the pandemic, we were all, well, a big chunk of the dive industry was geared to foreign guests, and of course foreign service, foreign pricing. So also there was a lot of them. We at one point I thought that, oh, this is oversaturated, but I was wrong. It's not. There's still a lot of operators out there, and because of that big number of operators, there's still a big gap to fill for divers to come in. So we're looking at probably, I'm thinking about maybe 72% still more of the local population to come out to dive to fill that gap. It's big.
Wow, it's really big. So what happens to the current the staff right now?
Oh,
in
we're
the dive
hurting.
shop?
Everybody in the industry is hurting. It's sad. It's sad to see. You know, one part that I've seen, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And one ugly part is that a lot of these dive staff, since they don't have any jobs anymore, and they need to sustain their families, they go into the sea and fish. And they fish in areas where I would consider dive sites, which is, which is our main attraction. What worries me is that once we open up our borders, we won't have those attractions anymore. So I would really like to encourage all the Cebuanos, take up diving, free diving, or even just put your head underwater to see what it's like there, and give stimulation to these people that got displaced because of the industry not being there.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Bo.
Well, like for example, like in the safari, one of the advantages we have is it's a big area, so it's really open air, in which nowadays most of the people are really looking for
Yes.
areas where it's open, they can keep your distance from each other. So yeah, even if there's 400 or 500 guests, people still feel safe, and they can go around the park. So we're actually trying to come up, since most of our market right now is really local tourism. So we've been discussing with the marketing team to come up with a promo. It's something like a wild card. So it will give access from July all the way to December. It will be an unlimited pass for local guests by prevailing that card. So it's more to encourage tourism to go locally, and that's all we've had pretty much at this point is our local, until the borders and flights start to come in, and then of course we'll have to re-strategize again later on when things start to change. As RD Shalimar said, that you can't really decide, something can change tomorrow, and we've had different plans, and when things change, everything we planned for 3 months is down the drain. So we really take things on a day-to-day basis, and we just adjust with the times, and take the lead from government and DOT to help us with all this.
I'm excited about it because for us in Cebu Tourism, we are the one doing the marketing on our own on our page. Every day, we set for sites, stays, travels. We have that every day. Even our history. What's unique in Cebu? We're also very proud to have Safari, one of world-class, unique bigod na to itong theme park, and of course Anjo on the north. So I'm happy to hear that, and we can help you out on the marketing. We really are helping even the SMEs or small resort owners, the food, because at the end of the day, they also need the government, and these people don't have the marketing, strategy. They, even some of them don't even have the signal.
Yeah.
So connectivity is now very much important. So we're doing it on our own sa province to do the marketing. So every day we feature, actually already featured the photos and videos of Commissioner Bose because they're so unique. And they really reach, they have a big reach. So an Icon Korea video is now really doing more in terms of the social media, not just a photo. So yes, we're doing that, and I'm happy to hear that. We're gonna help you out on that, please.
Nice. Thank you very much, Ma'am Marty. Sir, we have a question here from one of our participants. It says that as the operation of business continues, in terms of the graduates now who lack practical hands-on training, when they graduate, are we allowing, because wala man sila training, no? Kay wala ikuan because of the limited operation. From your answer, how are you, what do you think should be done? Should you prioritize first kaning mga na-retrench na mga employees from your sector, or are you also going to allow these new graduates na they need exposure and hands-on experience as well?
To answer to that, I think the graduates should not worry about job. Once the economy will open and when they start opening the borders, all these resorts and hotels, but basically they're going to be opening also jobs. Now you have to consider also that we have a couple of properties that are due to open that we're not able to open, such as Emerald, you have Sheraton, you have the one in Mactan, you have two properties, you have Novotel there, and you have another one which is the Reef. Now New Star is supposed to open next year. So there's a lot of opportunities for those graduates that we have in the next for the past this year and hopefully for next year. So that they should not be worried about that, because some of our employees as well right now, they've also changed jobs. In fact, since it's not available, they went to BPO. Right? And BPO right now, if you're gonna look at it, there were a lot of openings and no one have seen that, right? So the opportunities for the tourism, I'm sure that it will still be there.
That's great. That's great to hear. Yeah, and just one question that links with our other panelists here. With the focus now, one of the focus which is outdoors, how does this affect your sector, sir? And then also, have you seen increase of a staycation mga from the local not sa customers, local market?
Now, talking about staycation, this is a very interesting market. If you're gonna look at before the pre-pandemic, 40 to 60% of the market of a hotel normally are locals. 40% are foreign, except if you are in Mactan area. Then Mactan area is totally different. Call it a different in terms of market. Now, in terms of local, they have a lot to choose from today. Before, you will never see people going to the mountain. You don't see that. Yes. If you're gonna go to the mountain now, you can see pop-up coffee shops, right? There's a lot of things now that, in fact, you will be surprised. Go to Starbucks today. It's not, I'm not gonna say empty, but if you're gonna look at the mountain coffee, they're all full on weekends.
Yes.
So if you're gonna look at it, is that yes, there will be a requirement on the outdoor. In fact, because people will always think that, especially those that are not yet vaccinated. But the other properties also, the other hotels, what they do is they also have, they put equipments for the indoor. Because there are now equipments that basically captures, if you, for example, it's like airline, the airline said we can give you the best air because it goes to HEPA B filters, whatever. So hotels right now are also putting into that. Now, for big hotels, you don't have to worry because normally they have big filters. So even though you're indoor, as long as you don't take off your mask, then you will be safe. So just eat, and after eating, put on your mask, continue your discussion, and you will be safe.
I see.
There's a question for R.D. Samano. Is Bohol Panglao Airport an alternative for flight to access Cebu? And also, Panglao is interested to do a bubble. Can we express work with them
and the Cebu Association of Tour Operators will pick it up. Yeah.
So, thank you, Alice. Well, the decision, of course, Panglao International Airport was constructed really to cater to the international and domestic, what is this market. Of course, everything will depend on the LGU. So their, what do you call it, protocols in Bohol are quite different from the protocols of Cebu. So traveling, you have to consider traveling to Bohol and then going back to Cebu. And I would like to emphasize also, not to our viewers, that we are now following the, what is this? What we call the Mandanas ruling. Mandanas was a governor of Batangas. I think he's back to being a governor now, no? And I think he questioned why the, the local government units should be given their due, powers and money from the government. And we are a regional office, meaning if you have you need details about Cebu City, you will have to talk to the tourism office of Cebu City, which we are a member of also, the CCTC, no? If you have questions about the Cebu province, then Marty here can answer that. If you have questions about Bohol, then see Josephine Cabarros, the representative of the governor in Cebu. That's how it's now. And because of this pandemic, the LGUs became even more powerful because it is the LGUs who dictate their guidelines, their protocols, and it is not DOT, it is not even DOH. Of course, the DOH will propose, it will be discussed with the RITF, IITF, but like our secretary said, the governor and the mayor decides if they are closed or they are open. Now, what do? We coordinate with the LGUs. But if you want real time, it's really the LGUs that can decide, and they will decide whether they open or not, whether they make it stricter or not. But the key here is for the regional office of whatever agency to work closely with the local chief executives. That is the secret to surviving, no? This problem. Sabi mo ko, makalimot ta ba nga? Oh, mabawi na ta. Dili man nga na. Kaya next month, you really don't know. Even next week, you don't know what will happen. Diba? I mean, we're hearing cities and provinces that are now, I have some friends in Mindanao, some provinces just, closed their borders. And this was yesterday. This is the other day. And even in our neighbors, we will probably hear some news in the next few days. Ganahan nga better bad news kay tourism man gud ta. We want only to say the good news. So regarding kanang diving, na mention ganiha ang kanang what is this free diving, kanang boating and all. We have a plan. It's still actually a secret, but let me give you an idea, no? Like Dive 7, no? We want to actually gather all the marine activities in Cebu. Okay, Cebu maning atong focus karon, no? Because Cebu should be already assert itself as a maritime hub. So we export boats and ships. We sell speedboats. We even sell to the PNP Maritime the speedboats with machine guns. This is how our boat industry has gone. We manufacture diving equipments, mga sapatos, mga fins, no, mga gamit. So probably in 6 months' time, we will gather all of this. I have already a name in mind. It will probably be named Marine 7. Marine without an E. A Latin version of Marine 7, of course, Region 7 again. And then we will gather all this and we will probably, I don't know, El Curso probably or SMC side, open air man ganang sa tao, no? Atong ikwande ang all suppliers of the boats, speedboats, ships, dive suppliers, snorkeling suppliers, kayaking, stand-up paddle boarding, sa Argao, si Josimar, skimboarding, no? All these products, and then we will connect them with we can make this an annual event, no? And Cebu will be the hub. So, sekreto ba yung tanong? So we will start talking we'll talk to Marina again, our friend, no? Si RD Pascua. We'll talk to Coast Guard again. We will talk to, of course, the governor, the mayor, no? We will gather. I can imagine already what will happen, no? All the displays of all these boats, speedboats, and all of these products, and then probably do a little competition on the side. Yeah, naman na sila ikuan diha, diba? Murag auditorium, what do you call that? Anong murag sa Greece o sa Rome? Kanang likurangan gani facing the kuan.
Santorini.
What do you call that in Rome? kana mo grandstand ba, di ba? Grandstand sila diya. And we can do some probably jet ski choreography competition, di ba? Probably dragon boat competition and then some dives yeah. So,
Very Can you please also tell them the cycle tourism that we're also planning?
Yeah, tell us your project.
Another secret.
Big project, secret.
Secret problem with all these motorcycles and bicycles, so now we're giving them a good avenue for that. So we're also planning to do another one.
I talked to RD Kaindik, yun ako, RD. Atong pangdakpo ng gawili. Kung bawal limo, ang mga bawal ra. Ako mo gawili kay the last time nagwili ko high school BMX pa to. Kani ako motor igo kawili mahog ano ko permi. So anyway, we'll coordinate with the province again and of course si RD Kaindik. An idea that came up just a few days ago is motorcycle. You know, we have a culture here in Cebu, unique, no? Sa Tibok Nasod. We have this photography and motorcycle partnership. Na sa ato na, you know, I have lived in Manila 25 years, manggod. Dili manggod. Pwede mo nila iabangan gud sa kuan. Atang lang sila sa Busay ug Balamban. Wagi man diya tanan. Motor man pud ni si kuan. Edward, this is a culture. We'll probably do a photography contest. So, big bike category, what is this? Enduro category, kanang small bikes category, and then off-road category. And akala wala man ay contact. We just kuan nga ang LTO rules, no? Dili man tapok sa kuan, kay maka kuan probably the photographer can get a model. They can go to you know, one of my favorite spots, it's called the Vegetable Highway. Have you heard of the Vegetable Highway? Yeah.
Yes,
If you're Dalaget, you cross the mountain. Dito ko na-crash. That's my favorite na. Ang akong GS na bumkag nasa endurance ron. So, kami ni Francis. So, akong motor. Duhan na kabuhan. So, a photography contest ba? And then, you know, we can get, so these photographers can spot the new outdoor areas in the towns ba na ay kanang sa di ba tuburan ay granite diha nga kuan. It will be our marketing also. We can, you know, the winners probably they'll donate to us their photos. We can competition for short videos 20 seconder di ba kita na drone. So what we do is really maintain the product and find new products and then kanang ginagmay lang yun, just waiting for the right time, but at the same time we're also encouraging everyone to go to the mountains. And like na-discuss ni Commissioner Bogan niya katong sa dive. Nag-story naman mi ni Kumating na magbuhat lagi tag video nga nailaki ba nga mga bata and they'll explain how diving is so easy. Diving is easy, it's not dangerous, you don't need to be a swimmer, and it is not expensive. It's not expensive, that is important, and we have to convince our operators. Munang kanang dive ni Kom, kanang among kuan, dili ra na siya photo competition. It is really a bubble maker. It's part na sa program kung naa ka ng mga bata, tuluan nag-dive for free. In fact, dili ang diutin hatag no para libre na. Kunya, mabalik na sila. Photography contest, pati mga bata, appeal. So, inclusive niya sa mga photography, hindi ito mga ngilinig ng photographers. Everyone is welcome. Group shots, kanang kuan, kanang ano ba, kanang mga... So, we are convincing non-divers to dive. Kaya kung salig natin sa diver ng Pilipino, di kita, we cannot survive this one. So, we need more to... Mga board member karon ga-dive, mga mayors ga-dive, uban-uban na karon.
Well, by the way, the governor is also a diver herself.
Nahitabo, si governor. Gadive, happy punta, si Daan Bantayan gadive, of course si Mayor Lingling gadive, si Mayor Panglao gadive. Katong recommendation akong balikan katong Kinong Alice na we'll be very happy no to connect Bohol and Cebu. We'll be very happy no, to do that. Aron mas smooth na ato ang kuan ba.
Miss Alice, apil ba ato ang Clark na pohon? They're also
ang Clark
from the works na bubble with ano.
Sir, what do you think are the chances for travel to become less hassle and for the chances of at least uniform protocols lang? Because it's a start for all of these plans to really come into reality bitaw. Sayang mong good. You have so many good ideas. We also want to come in. We want to help you. We want to help each other. But it always starts with the protocols, with having an easier travel? What are the chances, since you always talk to government to government agencies?
Yes, actually, Governor Gwen reached out to Central Visayas. There's supposed to be a governor summit, if you remember, before we came up with, before we open up the airport, because she herself really wants to have that. Because in we, at the end of the day, we cannot just live on our own, ba? So she reached out to Central Visayas at first, but then unfortunately, wala gid mag-meet ang ilang schedule. So yes, trying si RD na-stress na si RD kay we really are trying to reach out para ma-align at least man lang a basic for all. Let's start with Central Visayas first. So that's the target of the governor. At least man lang Central Visayas. We're hoping that the Governor Summit of Central Visayas will push through the soonest, so that we'll have a help, a bubble tourism.
Yeah.
Let's start with Central Visayas. That's the nearest that we could do for the meantime.
Yeah.
To add on, aside from all the activities, the effect of this is like, for example, Type 7, when the divers go for the activity, of course, they need the accommodation, they need the food, they need the guides. So hopefully, if everything will be in place, we'll be helping out all the sectors, all our tourism stakeholders from the different sectors and industries. In fact, for our Suri-Suri Sugbo, and also for them, we really are including these sites and destinations for them to choose, so that upon arrival, they already know that there are places like this that they can also experience while here. So if they're gonna choose the staycation, so what's near? So I'm happy to hear that they're planning to do a budget or a promotion. So it will really help us to promote more of the sites and destinations.
Yeah. Thank you, Marty.
And another, in addition to the app, because I saw one question here, because the travel agents also want to take part, so they're asking if there is a way we can also be part of your app, because we also have other packages. We actually do destination activities as a package. We have farm tours, we have wellness tours, we have seaside vacations also. So I hope you will also...
We'll be embracing that. Miss Alice Kiblatin actually,
not just us, but
Marisa
even
Fernandao, I already mentioned it to them, and I think they have scheduled meeting already with the developer, so that they can add it on.
So that will be an opportunity for our players as well.
Even our transport group also.
Thank you. Actually, we still have a bunch of questions that are being asked, but we're out of time, unfortunately. So if your viewers can go to the website or contact the FB page to ask questions. Yeah. But we're very excited na dahil kay programs itong government, diba, to revive
Secret.
mga secrets. Yeah, yung secret revealer siya na forum. So thank you for that. So next, we're going to proceed with giving certificates.
Yep.
And tokens
Before
for
we
speakers.
go and present our tokens of appreciation to our panelists, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. Without them, this event would not be possible. I'd like to mention and thank you for Marco Polo Plaza, Cebu, for the venue. Thank you so much. I'd like also to mention PLDT Enterprise, Ride Hero, Eastern Communications, Qualphone Philippines for our technical setup. Salamat kayo. Lazada Philippines, Top Line Group of Companies.
Thank you, Mike.
Performance 360, BPO. Again, salamat kayo. Without you, this won't be possible.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to our let's
Giving
present
certificates,
our...
yeah. Thank you, Kai, to our panelists for being here today. We learned so much, and we hope to continue this conversation.
So, sige, you can sit down lang. I'd like to give this certificate of appreciation to Director Salimar Tamano, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Busy ra ba yung kay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Ma'am Marty, present the certificate of appreciation. Thank you so much, ma'am. Learned so much from you today. Thank you, Kaayo.
Sir Alfred, thank you so much for the time. Sir?
Sir Edward Loop, your certificate. Appreciation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Ma'am Cookie Chan, thank you so much, ma'am, for being here today. Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
Hello, ganun kayo go.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, kayo. Yeah. We're Croatia, ano. Yeah, inot kayo. Yeah, anything marine.
Apilin niyo ang kuwan?
Marco. Okay, soon. Okay. All right, thank you everyone. This concludes our coffee table discussion. Oh,
Yeah.
Last but not least, we're going to hear from our president of Cebu Business Month, Mr. Mike Cubos, for his closing statement.
All right, thank you so much. So, kailangan mo daw ito mag-closing remarks.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry, Mike.
no, coffee, wag kita nag-coffee. But again, thank you so much. RD, Tamano, salamat. Ma'am Marty, Sir Alfred, Sir Bo, Ma'am Cookie, Edward, thank you so much. Salamat kayo for joining us. So as we now have come to an end of our event, this is just the beginning of a long road ahead towards shaping a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable future. So this is a boost not only for tourism but to the whole country as we strive towards recovering from the economic downturn caused by COVID-19. I would firstly like to thank our panelists for agreeing to participate in this important platform. Your cooperation and participation are clear indication that the tourism sector, including government, labor, and private sector, are capable and ready to work together to rebuild the tourism industry, following from the devastating effects of COVID-19. I would like also to thank our moderator, Ms. Bridget Lim. Thank you for the way you guided us in the discussion as well. A special word of thanks to our guests who took the time out of their busy schedules today. So indeed, the pandemic has accelerated the shift in how people and businesses connect with one another by pushing the boundaries of remote working, remote learning, and remote experiences. In a world where visitors are constrained by physical boundaries, travel is no longer just about meetings or sightseeing, but unique suite of experiences that it offers to visitors from pre-arrival to post-departure. The next bound of growth for the tourism sector will come from the creating quality end-to-end experiences, curated to the needs of the travelers. So this is also an avenue because of the pandemic that we have come to innovate, find innovative ways, and connect again to our customers or the market. No? So we hope that the exchange of ideas today and the knowledge gained by our participants, especially online through Zoom and Facebook Live, will be very valuable as they take the steps to redesign their offerings as well from different sectors and industries and to address the needs of future travelers and locals alike. In the near term, there will still be headwinds for sure, as what RD mentioned earlier. We don't know as we adjust along the way. But we remain committed. I'm very sure that we are all committed to supporting our tourism sector, to help our businesses as well and workers, and build new capabilities and break new grounds. The engagement today has further indicated that we're not just an island, and we will only succeed if we strike the right chord in bringing all the stakeholders together. As what Ma'am Cookie earlier mentioned, communication, cooperation, collaboration would really help a lot. No? Throughout this process, we will have to shake up our institutions, rewrite rules, as we have been, again, as mentioned earlier, we come to become a source of best practices. So as we also recommend to the higher-ups, the IATF, bring smarter ideas and policies, local policies that works for us. So, I would would therefore like to encourage all stakeholders listening to us and participating here to remain steadfast in your effort in recovering the tourism sector. As we push forward in the 2021, this year, the challenge that lies ahead is not just recovery within this year or the next year, but how Cebu will prepare for long-term success. No? So we look forward to working closely with everyone present here. And also, as we take on themes of sustainability in the tourism industry, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, sir, for joining us today. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Chair Mike.
All right.
Thank
Salamat.
you, panelists. Yeah. Tayo, we learned so much.
My vision for virtual tour
Thank you. Vision
Oh, no, no.
he was the one who introduced us, who reached us to Ryan.
Very good.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So katong app, ma'am, so it will be streamlined na siya.
Yeah.
So
we're already also adapting for the online payment. They're adapting it already. So
I see.
Great. Before we end, we'd like to request the participants to turn on your video so we can have a photo op with our panelists.
Okay.
Request si Ms. Bell to turn on the video so we can
mandatory
photo op.
Photo op.
And we'd also like to invite everybody for our tourism summit on June 24. Hopefully we can invite you guys also. Our dean is Marty, where we can have more secrets revealed.
Yeah.
So Marty cycle 7.
All right.
Miss Bell. Okay, now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we just face the screen.
Okay.
And then we double on. Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
There.
There you go. Thank you for joining, you guys.
Bigger
fan.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. All right, thank you. Thank you. Salamat.
Thank you so much.
All right.
It was very exciting.
you.